Conspiracy theory time! What if I was secretly living inside a Dhar Mann video all along? Last week we covered Dhar Mann's cringy videos about a variety of character archetypes making over-the-top mistakes and living to regret them. We discussed Dhar Mann's Tommy Wiseau level understanding of human emotions and relationships, and how they left his videos feeling superficial and empty. But one thing I actually gave Dhar Mann credit for was his cosmetics company, LiveGlam, which he runs with his wife, Laura. From his own description on his website, the company sounded like a legitimate talent management enterprise that used beauty influencers to teach classes. But little did I know that this company was reminiscent of so many other companies that I've criticized before on this channel. I started getting comments from people telling me that I should look deeper into LiveGlam. People mentioned that they'd watched some LiveGlam videos and broadcasts back in the day when it was first launching, and that they noticed a lot of really shady practices coming from it. As I've mentioned many times on this channel, I'm very new at makeup. The only beauty videos I watch are usually from my own friends' channels, so none of this was even on my radar at the time. But soon it became clear that I really did need to dig deeper into what was going on at LiveGlam. So thank you so much to everyone who pointed this out to me and requested this follow-up video. I'm going to girl start apologizing now. I should have delved deeper into Dhar Mann's butthole. I should have delved deeper into Dhar Mann's makeup company before giving him credit for doing something legitimate for once in his life. In other words, I instantly regretted my decision. SAVY made a video about Dhar Mann without fully understanding his makeup company and lived to regret it.
Hit you some nuts.
There was lots of memes going around.
I'm a human.
You guys asked for it.
What's up, my little Dhar Mannequins, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel for the first time. This is SAVY Writes Books, the channel where we talk about books and business, and if you're new here, please subscribe because every Friday morning at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, we have new videos coming out here about those topics. And speaking of makeup companies, do you guys like my makeup today? I did a Classically Abby makeup tutorial before I came on here to watch this. The reason for that is that this past week on the Your Morning Guru show, we lived like Classically Abby for a week, and because you guys know, if you've watched our show, the whole point of the daily morning show is that we try to live like various influencers, even those we disagree with, and try to adopt their lifestyles in good faith to see if there's anything we can learn from them. So this is how I did my makeup to look like Classically Abby. It's not really my thing. I'm normally a person who's like no makeup at all whatsoever, don't even open the bags or take anything out, or I do like full-on rainbows and sparkles, but I tried something more subtle and modest because that's what Abby requested. Also, I tried dressing modestly according to Abby's style rules. I know I've done a lot of videos on Classically Abby on this channel, and when I've done those videos, I've kind of like done it as a skit almost, where I dress really old-fashioned like as a joke, but I decided to try it in good faith, tried taking some of her fashion advice. So to cover up my humongous titties, I put on this scarf, and then she mentioned that like dressing classical involves like dressing more traditionally feminine, so I wanted to try to go to the store this week and find things that I liked. Like my goal was like it had to be something that I liked and would genuinely wear within my style, but it also had to have elements of traditional femininity and also had to follow Abby's modesty rules, which included you can wear leggings to the gym, but you can't wear leggings as pants unless you have something to cover them, but what you have covering them can really be anything, so you can wear a short skirt as long as you have leggings underneath. Like the rules didn't make a lot of sense, but I decided to try following them, and I found this outfit that I actually like. Check this out. I legitimately like this outfit. I feel really cute in this. I'm like, I got the scarf, I feel like it's fall, and I love this checkered skirt I got on the Target clearance rack. It's like kind of 90s looking, so I can do this. I can do this. I can be a modest classical woman sometimes if I want to be. Anyway, if you're interested in all that, subscribe to the Your Morning Guru channel. We broadcast every morning at 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. Channel linked in the description below. So let's go on into part 1 of this video. Dhar Mann's makeup company LiveGlam. Is it an MLM scam? So I'm currently on this blog called Zadie Doll. I'm going to link it in the description below. I had never heard of this blog before, but it has a ton of information about what Dhar Mann's LiveGlam classes and courses were like, even back from the very beginning in 2015 where he started this business. Now, in last week's video, we talked a little bit about Dhar Mann's scams that he ran back in the day when he got in trouble for fraud and was issued, I think, 13 felonies for misusing government grant money. It's all in last week's video. I'll link it up in the cards. And then I mentioned that I do believe in the power of people to change, and Dhar Mann's whole story that he likes to present of himself is that he found a way to become a better person and leave that bad past behind him. So I had taken him in good faith and taken his word for it and assumed, okay, well then maybe this LiveGlam company that he was running was something legitimate and was not another scam. What a fool I was. So this article we're taking a look at right here is from December of 2015. So this was shortly after the LiveGlam company started and long before Dhar Mann started Dhar Mann Studios and his YouTube channel, which now has 13 million subscribers and is what in most corners of the internet he's best known for. This article says, to become a professional makeup artist, it takes work, dedication, and knowledge, as well as talent and the skills to do the job. This is a service industry. This industry is unfortunately not regulated. For those in the US, only a handful of states actually require a person to have a professional license, cosmetology license, esthetician's license in order to do makeup. Almost all states require a cosmetology license to touch hair, however. If working on a movie set and you're freelance, it's not required, but that's a whole other discussion. If you're a union makeup artist, basically you need to pass a test for color blindness. If you're a union hairstylist, you are required to be a cosmetologist. Now, if you're in the movie TV industry as a freelancer, well, that's a whole other story, but suffice it to say, a professional license is not needed. Don't confuse a professional license with a business license, two different things for another discussion. As a result, there are more and more social media personalities on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube who claim to be professional makeup artists, and they're not. And I think this is important as well. So I have a friend on YouTube whose name is Jessica Underwood. She goes by Jess MUA, and she's a professional makeup artist who does have an esthetician license. And she's been a guest on the Your Morning Guru show in the past. And she's talked about how one of her recent projects that she did is that she did Bruce Willis's makeup for a recent movie. So that was pretty cool. So her professional job is doing makeup for movie sets. And she has a professional license. And one of her big things is that she likes to speak out against MLM companies like Unique and Mary Kay and Rodan and Fields, which are these companies claiming that if you buy into the starter kit and start your own business, that you get to become a skincare specialist or a professional makeup artist just for buying into the company, when in reality, you haven't gotten any of the education or licensure to prove that you know how to handle different customer skin types, or that you know what you're doing with a client and can work with them in a safe way. So I think this article's touching on a lot of the same kind of things that she talked about when she was on our show, which was basically that you as a makeup artist are serving a client, and it is your job to make sure that that client is getting the best possible service from you. So if you're just doing a pay-to-play certificate program like we see in a lot of makeup and skincare MLMs, then at the end of the day, there is no guarantee that you are going to have the right knowledge or certification to be able to make sure you are doing things safely, especially when working with people's skin and people's eyes and things that can be very sensitive. There are many branches to the makeup artistry industry and many roads to take to become a real professional makeup artist. Many of the industry leaders are self-taught or are from a makeup dynasty like the Westmore family and have gone to an accredited school such as Makeup Designery, Cinema Makeup School, Vancouver Film School. Depending on which area a person wants to go to, you can apprentice an established makeup artist, you can start your own business, or you can start a counter and work for a specific makeup company like MAC or Bobbi Brown. There's no right way in becoming a professional makeup artist, but there is a wrong way, and that's to take courses from sites like LiveGlam or take seminars by people like Esther Romo who have no business handing out certificates that mean nothing to industry leaders or companies. So this is the vibe I started to get, right? When I had first seen the LiveGlam company, here's what I had assumed based on Dhar Mann's presentation of the video we reacted to last week. I had assumed that LiveGlam was a company where, okay, Dhar Mann is acting in like a managerial role where he's networking with all of these beauty influencers and he's producing these live classes that they're putting on. People are paying for a monthly subscription to these live classes, and from watching those live classes that their favorite makeup artists are putting on, they're learning more makeup skills to use themselves for their personal lives. I thought it was kind of like a way to get exclusive content from your favorite makeup artists. Not quite like Patreon, but something where it was like, okay, they're going to host additional classes that go more in-depth into what they're doing, and if you want to pay for that additional more in-depth content, you can subscribe to LiveGlam to get those additional makeup classes, which will teach you how to personally do better makeup if that's a hobby of yours. That's what I'd assumed this was. I didn't assume that it was a false certificate program where the idea is that if you pay for a monthly subscription to take these classes, then Dhar Mann is going to hand you some useless makeup artist certificate that means nothing in the real world. LiveGlam recently launched within the last couple of months, which now is almost 6 years ago. And yes, industry pros and working makeup artists have been discussing it, and the warnings to those new to the industry have been going out. It's essentially a scam. Why is it a scam? For a plethora of reasons I'll get into in more detail. But if you're thinking about shelling out $295 per year for their certification to get discounts, save your money. That's expensive. In order to get started, you pick from one of the LiveGlam coaches, which include Patrick Starr, Karen Gonzalez, Laura ZK, and Maya Mia. I don't know these people. I assume they're well-known makeup artists on YouTube, Instagram, something like that. I thought Patrick Starr was from SpongeBob. I didn't know he was a makeup artist too. I knew there was Jeffree Star, the makeup artist, but I thought Patrick Starr was a SpongeBob character. Feel free to okay boomer me at any moment. From there you get a kit that they'll send you so you can use those items possibly in conjunction with the videos. Let's say you pick Laura CK, who is a licensed cosmetologist in the state of California where LiveGlam is based, and at the end of the course you become a certified hairstylist. Can we say scam? Yeah, because I thought this article had mentioned earlier that to become a certified hairstylist, you had to go to an accredited cosmetology school. As I mentioned before, almost all states in the US require a person to go to cosmetology school in order to touch hair on a client. Her classes touch upon nothing that is taught in cosmetology school. There is nothing about sanitation, contagious diseases and parasites, anatomy, hair types and textures, absolutely nothing taught to make you a legitimate professional hairstylist. In regards to the makeup artistry part of the courses with the coaches, essentially you watch a series of videos with the coach you picked and take exams, and upon passing get your certificate proving you're a professional makeup artist. If only it was that simple in real life. This is incredibly reminiscent of a lot of the MLMs we've covered on this channel. We've talked about companies like Mary Kay and Unique specifically, which give out these certificates, like the Unique certificate that you're a certified unique makeup artist now, when in reality, that's not going to be recognized by anything legitimate. It's a pay-to-play system, which doesn't ensure in any way that you legitimately understand how to engage in these practices safely and with the client's best interest in mind. We're going to talk a little more in a minute about how, while I don't think that this is technically an MLM, it does have a lot of really similar elements to it, which shouldn't have surprised me. I was like, when's Dhar Mann going to get to the scammy course? When's he going to do it? It's right here. It was right here in front of me all along. Living to regret this. Once you pass their quizzes, which looking at the classes taught don't seem to include the basics a professional makeup artist should know, they will send you a package with your, quote, pro certification, business cards, composite cards, and instructions to apply for pro discounts. Whose composite cards are they using? Because composite cards are to showcase your professional work. The images are to be of models or clients you worked on, and it's to showcase your best work. So whose composite cards are they sending to you? If it's their work or stock photos, trust me, the folks that approve the pro accounts at many companies and Makeup Artist Magazine are not fools. I know too many people at various companies, and I'm told stories almost on a daily basis from someone trying to get a pro and account card from them. Try to go this route, and you could find yourself blackballed in the industry, effectively shutting you out from the real industry. Now let's talk about pro discounts. If you're only signing up for these courses for the certificate and package to get discounts like I said above, the folks that approve accounts are not fooled. I know for a fact that Friends Beauty, Camera Ready Cosmetics, Nigel's Beauty Emporium, OPI, and Makeup Artist Magazine will not accept the certificate as proof of being a professional. I'm still waiting to hear back from the companies listed on LiveGlam's site if they're accepting the LiveGlam certificate as proof of being a professional makeup artist. I will be shocked if any company other than Gerard, since the owner is supposedly friends with Patrick Starr, accepts the certificate. In regards to them stating that with their certificate you'll be ready to start making money and traveling the world, working on celebrities and having a loaded kit, So again, this is a thing where it's selling the dream. This isn't selling you makeup classes where it's like, here's how you can learn to get better at your makeup. You really like these content creators. Here's a way to support them and get some exclusive content from them like you might do on Patreon. Here's a way to get additional classes from them that are produced in this, you know, professional studio, and maybe you can learn to improve on your own personal makeup skills. It wasn't like that. It was selling these people a dream of being your own boss. This wasn't selling people on the idea of makeup skills and having makeup as a hobby. It was trying to sell the entrepreneurial dream to those people, which is, again, what MLMs and scammy business courses do. I thought it was too good to be true that Dhar Mann didn't have a scammy business course, but it was right here! So this is a video put out by a channel called Here for the Tea, which was put out in 2017, once again, before Dhar Mann started his Dhar Mann Studios company. So people were talking about him online before it became popular for commentary channels to react to his shitty videos. Even before he started any of that, this video came out called LiveGlam Online Makeup Certification Scam Exposed. Don't be fooled. First of all, shout out to the channel Here for the Tea that made this video we're reacting to right now, and shout out to Gianna Seam, I think that's her name that they just mentioned, that made this video that's going to have clips included that I think shares a lot of valuable information. We'll see in a second.
Beauty classes / tutorials. I did reach out to Gia and she was totally fine with me using her video, but before I do so, I just want to clarify that she did not name anyone or any company in particular in her video. She was very respectful and very generic in her description, and I'm the one who's relating this information to Dress Your Face and LiveGlam.
Now, to start off this whole company of online makeup certifications, you need a person who's going to start the whole thing. So let's just say right now that it is a man. Now, this man still wants to make money from the beauty industry. So what does
I think it's cool the way that she's laying it out like this. There's a lot of really interesting stuff we're going to see here. This is Gia who's laying this out right here. And I'm going to link all of these sources in the description below as well, so you can check out these full videos if you're interested in learning more. And I like how she starts off by saying, like, let's say it's a man that's starting this company. Now, not just Dhar Mann necessarily, but I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that while I think men should wear makeup if they want to, and I think women should not wear makeup if they don't want to, I think it's a very personal choice that gender stereotypes don't have to come into at all. But as the world is right now, the vast majority of people who are into makeup and, you know, makeup artistry and things like that tend to be women, but the vast majority of people who run these companies are men. We see that a lot with MLM companies as well, where the company Unique is currently run by a male CEO, for example, even though the company targets women as the vast majority of their consultants and the vast majority of their customers as well. So I always think that's interesting. Not always in a good way. I'm not saying it's always a scam when this happens, but I just think it's fascinating that so many makeup companies tend to be dominated by men just because so many CEOs in general are men.
What does this person need to do? He needs to create a company that is going to hand out makeup certifications and give them discounts at professional companies. He's going to need to have a beauty influencer on his team. So let's say she's got 2 million followers. Now, together are not really going to be able to make a lot of money, so they're going to need some help from other beauty influencers as well, who also have a fairly large following. So this beauty guru is going to bring in 2 of her friends. Let's say that they also have 2 million followers each. For the sake of this chart, let's say that these people also have 2 million followers each.
Let's take a look at the shape that's created here, right? So there's the man at the top selling the credentials. He's got these 5 women under him who are influencers, and then they each have 2 million people who are going to buy into this so that they too can get these credentials and then sell their own services and classes to other people. What shape are we making, guys? What shape are we making?
Pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se. It's
So for those of you who don't know, LiveGlam is owned by Dhar Mann. If that name rings a bell to you, it's probably due to one of 2 reasons.
I think this is what she's going to do here is fascinating, because she's like, if it rings a bell to you, it's probably due to one of 2 reasons. And I would instantly be like, oh yeah, he makes those cringy videos. We studied him on Your Morning Guru. His videos are super cringe, and he has a Tommy Wiseau level understanding of human emotions and that kind of thing. But keep in mind that this video came out a year before he started making any of those videos or opened up his movie studio company. So when she says his name probably rings a bell for something, it's something different. This is fascinating.
The first being that he is a convicted felon. Mann was convicted of 5 felony counts of defrauding the city of Oakland by stealing redevelopment funds sourced from California taxpayers. He was sentenced to 5 years probation in order to pay a $10,000 fine plus $44,399 in restitution to the city of Oakland. The city secured an additional $37,500 as part of the civil suit against Mann, according to the city attorney's office.
Yep, that's what we talked about last week, right? He was probably best known, one of the things he was best known for at this point was being that gandrapreneur type of guy, right? Who was started that We Grow marijuana store. And on top of that, he was known for getting charged with 13 counts of fraud. So I love at this point it wasn't like Dhar Mann, the inspirational guru, Dhar Mann, the happy filmmaker who wants to make everyone feel good. It was Dhar Mann, you probably know him as the convicted felon.
Prior to Dhar wiping his Instagram account clean, his feed was saturated with posts flaunting his wealth ad nauseum. Now if that isn't the reason his name sounds familiar...
Yeah, so Dhar Mann's whole Instagram, he was the Ty Lopez type, like, I'm here in my garage, look at all my cars, I'm so rich. Which is why it's fascinating that Dhar Mann had this narrative that, like, I started LiveGlam with only $600 in my one-bedroom apartment I was sharing with roommates, and I was just trying to keep a roof over my head, when right before he started that company, his whole Instagram was just him flaunting his wealth constantly. Which is it, Dhar Mann? Clearly you're lying somewhere. Either you were faking all that wealth on Instagram and just doing it for the clout, or you weren't really poor and broke when you started your business and had plenty of money and were faking that story about having no money so that you could be inspirational to other people and sell them on that dream. Which is it, bud? Now she says, here's the other reason you might know Dhar Mann. Once again, not because of his movie studio, it's because why?
Probably this one. Mann was previously engaged to reality star / entrepreneur Lily Ghalichi, who famously put his ass on blast after calling their engagement off in this Instagram post with the caption that reads as follows. This man is nothing but a fame-seeking fake person. Her final straw was a crazy story he made up about his fake followers actually being real followers who found him through an inspirational thing he posted on Instagram that went viral. But that wasn't true. She also said that very shortly after they started dating, he had no money, living on her couch broke, and after they broke up, the only women he'd follow on Instagram had over 1 million followers.
Okay, so it sounds like based on his ex-fiance's testimony of things here, Dhar Mann was actually faking all that wealth that he was flaunting. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I believe that someone can come back from doing something truly awful, and misusing city grant money, engaging in white-collar crime is a pretty terrible thing to do, because it's inherently self-serving and hurts other people while benefiting only you. But I still believed that maybe he did want to turn a new leaf, maybe he did want to try to come back from it and use his story and himself as inspiration, and that's why, even though his videos are cringe and make absolutely no sense, maybe that's why he wanted to make those inspirational videos, because he could become better and he believes you can too. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but no, it turns out he kept up his scammy ways, and now I have no reason to believe that he ever is going to become a better person, because it's a pattern now. He just keeps doing it.
Now, the cost of viewing these glorified YouTube tutorials is $99 per year, which is great if you want to pay for YouTube toots. That's your choice. What they do is they lure young, impressionable girls and boys who think that instead of attending an accredited makeup school, they can complete these online classes for a fraction of the cost and obtain the same credentials you'd receive from an accredited makeup school, which is 100% not the case. Also included in the package are business cards, to help you network, that clearly indicate the title of a pro makeup artist in bold letters. Now,
yeah, this is a huge problem. This is exactly what the MLM companies do, and this apparently you get this business card before you completed the classes, and the classes are not accredited. They are just extra YouTube tutorial content. This is insane. Dhar Mann, this is insane.
Yes, and they imply that by signing up for their pro package, you'll receive discounts of up to 50% off makeup brands. As a makeup artist myself, I do get discounts on a lot of makeup brands ranging from 30 to 50% off depending on the brand, of course, but you must have credentials such as a diploma from an accredited makeup school along with other documentation or proof that you are a working makeup artist, not a certificate of enrollment or a certificate of completion of a seminar.
So this also reminds me of when MLM companies are like, you can just sign up for the discount too. Like, you're paying for the classes. You're paying for the classes and you're getting some discounts in return along with a certificate that's useless.
Which implies that if you sign up for their classes, you'll be able to get discounts on all these brands, so basically the membership, classes, pays for itself. You click on the brand and it gives you all the information associated with the discount program, and yes, you may get approved for a discount by some of the brands they advertise using the comp card and business cards they provide, which, to be honest, reminds me of a fake ID in that you may get away with using it at some places but not everywhere. Unlock now with pro membership, and you go to the little information icon, you'll see that all you get with a pro membership is detailed instructions and the documents necessary to apply, which you can get for free on the fucking internet. It does not guarantee that you will be approved for the discount.
So you don't even get the discount, it just shows you, it just on the membership gives you the documents to apply to get the discount, but if the brand doesn't actually recognize you as a professional makeup artist and doesn't count those credentials, then you don't actually get the discount. So while I'm not confident in saying that this is legally fraudulent or that this is like some legal violation, but it's definitely misleading to the customer, and it's definitely unethical based on my personal business ethics. This doesn't seem like he's giving the customers a fair expectation. So based on the video we just watched and the article we just read, I have to ask the question that I asked beginning this section. Is LiveGlam an MLM or multi-level marketing style company? I don't think that it technically is, but it's still shady as hell. The reason I say that no, I'm not sure that it's an MLM is that with an MLM type of company, what would happen is that after people had paid for those courses and gotten that fake certificate from the influencers that they took classes from and then went on to start their own business, they would also then be expected to start their own business through LiveGlam, teaching their own classes and finding new people to recruit to do the same. Since it seems like the expectation is that people who receive these certifications will go on to start their own business outside of LiveGlam and will start it somewhere else, I don't think it's technically an MLM, although it does have some parallels to Smart Circle, which is a company I've covered before. I'll link it up in the cards. So I can see where there are very close similarities to MLM type of companies, and either way, I think the fact that people are paying for these certificates without potentially knowing how useless it's going to be in a lot of elements of the industry, I find that incredibly exploitative to the customers, and I also find it insulting to actual certified makeup artists who have put in all this work to get the proper licensure and make sure they're doing things above board. And on top of that, I think that the end customer is going to lose out as well by not potentially knowing if the makeup artist that they hire for something is going to be someone from an accredited school or someone who got something from the non-accredited LiveGlam School of Makeup Artistry. Around this time, at the end of 2017 and into 2018, LiveGlam found itself in another massive scandal when there was a huge breach of credit card security. So right now we're on this website called Lipstick Alley. Again, all sources will be linked in the description below, which says LiveGlam running credit card scams through monthly beauty subscriptions. It says right here, after coming under fire, LiveGlam has transitioned from offering fake professional makeup certification to gullible people who enroll for $90 courses taught by beauty bloggers like Dress Your Face, Nikita Dragon, Patrick Star, Angel Marino, etc. They are now a beauty subscription website offering 3 types of monthly subscription kits: Morphe Me for makeup brushes, Kiss Me for liquid lipstick, and Polish Me for nail polish. Many LiveGlam subscribers have become victims of credit card fraud after signing up for the monthly subscriptions. A few months after signing up, random charges ranging from $400 to over $9,000
It's over 9,000!
were made to people's accounts to random places such as AT&T, Macy's, Toys R Us, Apple, etc. LiveGlam responded to these accusations by stating that the company uses a third party to store payment information. One of the victims' banks countered this claim by confirming that charges came from LiveGlam. They have been deleting comments about this from their Instagram page. So you guys remember last week when I said I appreciate the way Dhar Mann handles criticism and that he doesn't delete it or run away from it, but he engages with it genuinely, and that was something I could admire about him? Well, he just ruined that too, based on this right here where his customers were reaching out saying, dude, our credit card security was compromised. We're getting fraudulent charges on our cards. You didn't run our cards in a safe way. What can we do? And he deleted the comments. If there's ever a time to make sure you're not deleting comments, it's when you're a convicted felon who has been charged with fraud and done time for fraud. And now your customers are accusing you with evidence of a new fraud. Dhar Mann, what are you doing? This Zadie doll website that we read that other article on earlier also covered this. This was in January of 2018 when this website reported. All right, so we're into 2017 according to this blog's timeline. April of 2017 is when the California Attorney General's office reports that on April 25th, 2017, that LiveGlam website is compromised and information was stolen. In December of 2017, Beauty Sleuth reported on Instagram that people had contacted her with screenshots of emails between them, the customer, and LiveGlam, dated in October to December 2017, where credit card breaches were denied. On December 3rd, 2017, LiveGlam acknowledged security breach to at least one person in the reviews portion. And then on December 10th of 2017, LiveGlam did blog and acknowledge that there was a credit card breach. The link to the blog post was dated December 10th, but supposedly was originally written December 3rd. So this person at the end of their blog post, which again, this was written over 3 years ago, suggests that people contact the California Attorney General. It seems that none of this is going on anymore, but 3 years ago, this was a big deal for a lot of people. So this YouTuber here for the tea that we had reacted to earlier did an additional video called LiveGlam Accused of Defrauding Thousands of Customers. customers. So let's take a look. This person creating this video goes in and shows all the DMs that she got from various people sharing their stories of how after subscribing to the LiveGlam subscription service, which, you know, now, as this person mentioned, now is no longer, at this point, no longer offering those makeup classes, but is now offering subscription services for products, including brushes, lipsticks, and nail polish, so you can choose a subscription box. So it's still a subscription service, thankfully not offering the fraudulent certificates anymore, but now is compromising people's credit card information. So she's going through all the DMs that she got of people being like, yes, this happened to me. I subscribed to LiveGlam subscription box, and next thing I knew, there were a ton of charges on my credit card that I didn't make.
Next we have Rachel. In her case, her debit card was compromised 2 days after she canceled her subscription. Funnily enough, the reason she canceled was because she had been hearing about other people's cards being compromised. Her card was charged $559 at FitLife TV, and she was kind enough to provide receipts for same. The next case is interesting, actually. So this person was fraudulently charged $9,143.17, and they wrote to LiveGlam and said, my credit card information has been stolen because of your website. I was fraudulently charged $9,143.17. This happened to multiple people because of your site. What are you doing to protect us? I want to know details to your plan of action, or I want my account canceled immediately.
Okay, so this is a valid thing to ask. My credit card's been compromised. I'm getting these fraudulent charges. What are you gonna do to fix this, Dhar Mann? What is happening, and how are you gonna fix this?
So then Joseph from LiveGlam responds with this lengthy message and basically says that LiveGlam doesn't store their customers' credit card information on their site, and that payment information is stored with a merchant processor that they do not have access to. He then advises her to contact her bank. She responds to Joseph and says, my bank has been contacted. In actuality, they contacted me. I know you have got a lot of emails with customers having this same issue. They're all talking about it in the Facebook groups. My bank said that it has come from y'all also. Joseph responds again advising that they are investigating the issue and requesting that she provide more information. She responds to Joseph's questions saying, 1, I signed up in late September, early October. The first brushes I got were the October breast cancer ones. 2, no, I did not update any of my info. 3, there was a pre-authorized charge from LiveGlam for the amount of 9 cents. My bank said that thieves do this to see if the card is good, and it allows them to charge the card multiple times. The charges were all from China. One was for over $4,000, and there was a bunch in between $160 and $190. I'm not sure of the vendors because it was my bank who caught it before I did. It's Sunday, so they're not open, and I can find out the vendors tomorrow if you need them.
Yeah, so even if it is a third party, like for example, like, you know, I'm not storing my customers' credit card information. When someone orders something from me, it's all processed through Shopify, right? So in that case, if I started getting a bunch of complaints from people saying, Savvy, after I bought something from your store, suddenly I started getting fraudulent charges, and tons of people were saying this to me, I would get on the phone with Shopify customer service immediately to say, excuse me, what is going on here? What's going on with the credit card processing? What can I tell my customers? Because that is a huge, first of all, it is a huge breach of trust between the vendor and the customers. I would be terrified that my customers would worry that they can't trust me, or that they can't trust my site, or that I may have done something that could have caused people's security to be compromised, because that's never something that you want to happen as a business owner or as a customer. So I would be immediately like, I'm going to call Shopify right now. I'd put out a statement instantly like, something's going on with my payment processor. I'm on the phone with them immediately. Like, I don't understand how that wasn't their first reaction. And instead it was like, oh, just call your bank. Just figure it out with them. This isn't our fault. Like, how do you have so little regard for your customers? So as a business owner myself, I just cannot imagine being so flippant about such a huge blow to your customers and their trust in you. I can understand using a third-party system to process credit card information, as that's what I and what many online vendors do, but I can't imagine just brushing it off as like, contact your bank, you figure it out, this isn't our fault. If I found out that Shopify or Big Cartel or one of the places where I sold things to my customers had become compromised and was leaking people's credit card information or leading to fraudulent charges, not only would I be on the phone with customer service of these websites and these online vendors immediately to be like, okay, let's figure out what we can do to fix this, I would also put out a notification like, hey customers, I've heard that there's some shady shit going on with the payment processing. I'm shutting down the site temporarily. Don't buy anything. I do not want your credit cards compromised. Like, when LiveGlam knew that this was happening, why didn't they shut their site down for a day? It's worth it to maintain your customers' trust in you and lose one day of profits rather than be known as the shady business that lets people's credit cards get compromised. I just don't understand that line of logic. It is so self-serving. Dhar Mann, I can't believe I gave you the benefit of the doubt so much. Last week, I trusted that after he'd been charged with 13 counts of fraud a few years prior, that he had learned his lesson and was legitimately changing. While I might be wrong a lot of times that I do try to give people the benefit of the doubt, I do like to believe that most people are inherently good, and most people who have done bad things in the past do want to change, and I'm going to continue to believe that because I want to believe that change can be possible. However, as it turns out, in this case I was wrong, and it turns out that it wasn't that he learned his lesson and was moving on to legitimate business ventures, but rather that he went from one sketchy business practice to the next, and now I don't think I can trust that anything he does in his videos on his inspirational YouTube channel is done in good faith either. Especially when last week we talked about the ways that his channel targets kids to subliminally advertise to them why they should be buying his merch. Dhar Mann has so many videos on his website about why you shouldn't trust scammers and how scammers are going to instantly regret what happens and how the scammer is always the bad guy who gets what's coming to them. I wish he learned from his own life-changing videos. I wish he learned his own lesson. So Dhar Mann, if you're watching this and you do want to engage with me in good faith like you did with someone like Cody Ko, please feel free to reach out at any point. I'd love to discuss these things with you, but right now I'm just not sure I can trust you, man. So let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments below. Do you think LiveGlam was getting too close to the multi-level marketing side of companies for comfort, or do you think that maybe he still was trying to do something legitimate at the end of the day? I don't think I can trust Dhar Mann anymore after this. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I will see you guys again next week for another video, and I will see you every weekday morning on the Your Morning Guru channel for our morning show to get you started and excited in the morning. In the meantime, please don't forget to support small businesses and have a fantastic start to your weekend. Bye!
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes going around.
I'm a human.
You guys asked for it.